Hi everyone, we're going to have a look at the parts of the animal cell today. An animal cell is a eukaryotic cell. It is a building block of all animals. The absence of cell walls allow them to take on different shapes as well as different functions. A cell membrane separates the inside of a cell from the outside environment. Its purpose is to control what substances leave or come into the cell. The cytoplasm is the area between the cell membrane and the nuclear envelope. It is made of a jelly-like substance known as the cytosol and organelles. Basically, it's everything in the middle. Most of the activities that take place in the cell happen in the cytoplasm. Look at all this. Now, the cytosol. Cytosol is found inside the cell membrane and is a part of the cytoplasm. It is made mostly from water. Cytosol has a number of functions, one of which is movement of the organelles when the cell divides. It's kind of like the swimming pool that everything's floating in. The cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton of a cell is made up of proteins that help to support a cell. The cytoskeleton gives the cell its shape and allows it to move. It is made up of three components: microfilaments, intermediate filaments, and microtubules. So it just kind of gives some structure there, just like our skeleton gives us structure. Now, organelles. It looks like organ, but that L, they're just little bitty organs. They're found only in eukaryotic cells. Organelles get their name because they resemble small organs in the bigger body of the cell. Each organelle has a very different function, and together they help to keep the cell functioning and alive. Remember that the organelles and the cytosol are all part of that cytoplasm, everything in the middle of the cell. Except for the very, very middle. Now, let's talk about the different organelles. One of my favorites, the mitochondria. Mitochondria are small organelles that are made of membranes and are often characterized as the batteries of a cell. They generate most of the energy needed by a cell to survive. So then they kind of look like little batteries or like little blueberry micin eggs. I don't know. Mitochondria. Ribosomes are small organelles whose function is to create proteins by joining amino acids. They are made of two different parts. The first part reads the DNA code, while the second part uses the code to join amino acids to form proteins. So they're busy little workers. And you can see they're right here on this organelle, which we'll talk about next. This is an amazing name. The rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum gets its name from the ribosomes that are found on its surface. These small ribosomes give it the appearance of being rough. The rough endoplasmic reticulum's purpose is to provide a surface for the ribosomes to create proteins. It's kind of like the factory building that the workers can go to. It's just a place to be. Now, there's also a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is perfect because we were just talking about antonyms earlier today. Rough and smooth. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum lacks the rough appearance of the ribosomes. Its function is to create lipids, steroids, and to break down carbohydrates, along with other substances. So it does a variety of jobs. We won't get into all those details now. My favorite. The Golgi apparatus is known as the post office of the cell. Did I ever tell you if I wasn't a teacher, I would like to be a letter carrier or a librarian? I like the Golgi apparatus. Okay, well, its purpose is to package the proteins that have been created by the ribosomes and to move them to the other parts of the cell. They are named after the person who discovered them, Camillo Golgi. The Golgi apparatus, a little post office, moving everything around. All those proteins that those workers made. The lysosomes are known as the waste disposal system of the cell. They are small spheres that contain acidic enzymes which break down unwanted substances found in the cell. Lysosomes. The centrioles, they look like little pastas, don't they? Centrioles have a function that is similar to steel cables. Their job is to help in cell division by ensuring that everything in the cytoplasm has been properly separated and moved. When an animal cell wants to reproduce, have more, it can literally just divide into two. And the centrioles have to make sure everything's going right. Now, all those things we were talking about from the cytosol on, all those organelles are part of the cytoplasm. But now we're going to get into what's at the very center of the cell, and that's the nucleus. The nucleus of a cell contains the genetic information, the DNA, of that organism. The nucleus is enclosed by a membrane. It's also protected. It was the first organelle to be discovered by Leeuwenhoek. That's a little interesting history if you wanted to get into that. I can spell that name for you. It's Leeuwenhoek. He was Dutch, I believe. The nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope is a thick membrane that surrounds the nucleus. It is made of 2 layers of fat molecules, making it very difficult to penetrate. Substances that need to pass through the nuclear envelope must go through small openings of the membrane known as nuclear pores. Little passages. The nucleolus. The nucleolus is often characterized as a small factory inside the nucleus of a cell. Its function is to manufacture ribosomes. So the nucleolus is making the ribosomes, which are going to live on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the ribosomes have the job of making proteins, which the Golgi apparatus is sending around the cell. Isn't it great? It's like its own little city. Chromatin. Chromatin has several functions and is made up of DNA, protein, and RNA. Chromatin packages DNA so that it fits inside the cell. It protects the DNA during cell division and makes sure the DNA is presented, read, and translated correctly. So those are the parts of the animal cell. I'll just go through them with you one more time since you don't have the book in front of you. Here is the whole animal cell, the membrane, the cytoplasm, the cytosol, the cytoskeleton, the organelles, the mitochondria, those little batteries, the ribosomes, the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, the lysosomes, the centrioles, the nucleus, the nuclear envelope, the nucleolus, the chromatin, and that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it's helpful as you're working on your diagram.